Welcome back to Insightful Edge. Today's topic hits close to home, literally. It's about the food we serve at our tables, the farmers who raise it, and the forces quietly shaping what we're allowed to eat. We're talking about pork, not just the sizzling chop or Sunday roast, but the deeper story behind it, a story of nutrition, tradition, and control. If you enjoy learning about food, health, and the truth behind what's on your plate, click the little bell so YouTube lets you know when we've got something new to share. In 2025, Americans are projected to consume over 51 pounds of pork per person, making it the second most consumed animal protein in the country, just behind chicken. That's more than 17 billion pounds of pork served across homes, schools, hospitals, and restaurants every year. It's a staple of our diets and a pillar of our economy. But with that level of consumption comes responsibility. When a food is this central to our lives, we have to ask, what are we really eating? Who controls it? And what are the long-term effects on our health, our farmers, and our sovereignty? As families, we want to nourish our loved ones with food that's safe, honest, and nutrient-rich. But when processed pork becomes the norm, stripped of thiamine, B12, and selenium, and loaded with preservatives, nitrates, and artificial flavorings, we're not just losing nutrition. We're exposing ourselves to oxidative stress, inflammation, and chronic disease risks that quietly erode our well-being. And as a nation, we face a deeper concern: foreign ownership and corporate consolidation. Companies like Smithfield Foods, now owned by WH Group, a Chinese conglomerate, have shifted control over pricing, exports, and supply chains beyond our borders. Strategic decisions that once supported American farmers and consumers are increasingly made overseas. Recent investigations into price manipulation by foreign-owned meat packers have raised alarms, not just about rising costs, but about who holds the power. This isn't just about pork. It's about food sovereignty. It's about whether we, as Americans, still have the right to decide what we eat, how it's raised, and who profits from it. So yes, pork matters. It matters because it's on our plates. It matters because it's in our economy. And it matters because it reflects the values, vulnerabilities, and choices that shape our future. Our future starts with the tastes of home, those familiar flavors that ground us, comfort us, and remind us of who we are. They're more than meals. They're cultural touchstones, shaped by region, heritage, and the rhythms of everyday life. From the spices we reach for to the stories behind each dish, food connects us to place, memory, and meaning. Pork has long held a place at the heart of the American table. From sizzling bacon at breakfast to slow-roasted pork loin at Sunday dinner, it's a food steeped in regional pride and culinary versatility. Whether smoked in Southern pit-style tradition or pan-seared in a Midwestern kitchen, pork reflects the diversity of American cooking and the shared values of nourishment, celebration, and care. It's the aroma that fills the kitchen before the kids tumble down the stairs. The clink of silverware, the laughter between bites, the stories shared over mashed potatoes and gravy. A golden roast pork loin resting on a platter, steam rising as someone carves the first slice. A child reaches for seconds. Someone tells a joke that makes everyone laugh. There's no calorie counting, no label reading, no second guessing. Just trust, just joy, just food that feels safe, familiar, and good. It was a time when we didn't have to worry about what we were feeding our children. When pork was pork, raised by farmers we knew, processed close to home, and served with pride. A symbol of abundance, care, and connection. But behind that familiar flavor lies a story few consumers know. A story that touches not just our health, but our sovereignty, our economy, and our future. Because today, the pork on our plate may look the same, but the system behind it has changed. And if we want to protect the joy, the nourishment, and the trust we once took for granted, we need to understand what's really going on. Today, we need to think in terms of nutrition versus processing. Whole, unprocessed pork, especially lean cuts like tenderloin, loin chops, and fresh ground pork, offers a powerful nutritional profile. It's rich in high-quality protein that helps build and repair muscle, and it delivers essential B vitamins like thiamine and B12, which support nerve function, brain health, and energy metabolism. Minerals like selenium and zinc further strengthen immune response, aid in cellular repair, and contribute to hormonal balance. When pork is raised responsibly, without growth promotants or unnecessary antibiotics, and served in its whole form, it becomes one of the most nutrient-dense proteins available. It's just as nourishing as skinless chicken breast, and often more versatile in flavor and texture. Whether roasted, grilled, or slow-cooked, whole pork retains its natural integrity, offering satiety and strength without the chemical burden. Unlike processed pork such as bacon, deli ham, sausages, and hot dogs, whole cuts preserve the very elements that make pork worth eating. Processed products often lose key nutrients during curing and cooking, and they're frequently loaded with preservatives, nitrates, and artificial flavorings that interfere with digestion and nutrient absorption. Thiamine, for example, is especially abundant in pork and plays a critical role in converting food into energy. B12 supports red blood cell formation and neurological function. Selenium acts as a powerful antioxidant, and zinc helps fight infection and maintain skin health. In short, whole pork isn't just a comfort food, it's a functional food. It nourishes the body, supports recovery, and sustains vitality. And when sourced from local farms that prioritize animal welfare and soil health, it also nourishes the land and the community. But not all pork is created equal. Processed pork, like bacon, deli ham, sausages, and hot dogs, may be convenient and flavorful, but it's also chemically altered. These products often contain preservatives like sodium nitrate and BHA-BHT, which extend shelf life but interfere with digestion and nutrient absorption. Nitrates and nitrites preserve color and flavor but can form nitrosamines when cooked at high heat, compounds linked to increased cancer risk. Artificial flavorings, designed to mimic smoke or spice, are lab-created chemicals that can mask poor-quality meat and trigger allergic reactions, digestive discomfort, or oxidative stress. For individuals managing asthma, allergies, or chronic conditions, these additives may pose additional risk, triggering reactions or interfering with medications. It's one more reason to read labels carefully and prioritize whole, unprocessed pork. And the risks don't stop at additives. The very act of processing, and even cooking, can strip away much of pork's natural nutrition. Compared to fresh cuts, processed pork contains significantly less thiamine, B12, and selenium. High-heat techniques like frying or boiling can degrade water-soluble vitamins, especially if cooking liquids are discarded. Gentle methods like roasting or steaming help preserve more of the good stuff, but overcooking any meat can still compromise its protein quality and digestibility. That doesn't mean we should never enjoy a slice of bacon or a holiday ham. But it does mean we need to reframe processed pork as an occasional indulgence, not an everyday staple. And when we do cook pork, choosing fresh, lean cuts and preparing them with care helps preserve the very nutrients that make this food worth eating in the first place. Instead of using pre-packaged ham slices, try leftovers from a pork roast or pulled pork from the crock pot. These retain more nutrients and store well, without the chemical baggage of preservatives, nitrates, and artificial flavorings. Choosing whole cuts over processed meats isn't just better for your health. It's a quiet act of reclaiming control over what goes on your plate. Behind each package of pork is a complex system, largely unseen. From factory floors to grocery aisles, choices about pricing and supply are often made far from the farms we know. Few realize the nation's largest pork producer, Smithfield Foods, is owned by WH Group overseas. This context doesn't assign blame. It reminds us that decisions affecting an American staple can be shaped beyond our borders. Let's look at what that means, calmly and clearly. Choosing whole, responsibly sourced pork isn't just dinner. It's a quiet vote for transparency, sovereignty, and a healthier food future. Small choices, repeated, create steady change. While animals are still raised and processed here, strategy and profits can be guided by outside interests. That influence shapes exports, priorities, and what eventually reaches our plates. Our pork may be American-raised, yet the system guiding it isn't always fully ours. Recent headlines raised concerns about price manipulation among foreign-owned meat packers. The focus was beef, but the lessons touch all meats, including pork. When a few global players can redirect exports, cancel shipments, or adjust prices, families and local producers feel the strain first. This isn't panic material. It's a signal to pay attention, ask questions, and keep our food system resilient and fair. That's the pork paradox. A food that connects us to home also sits inside global economics. Acknowledging this calmly helps us respond wisely, supporting farmers, choosing well, and keeping our food supply steady through change. Here is what you can do. We begin by choosing pork that's unprocessed and raised here at home, by producers who treat their animals with care and uphold the integrity of our food system. We support local farms and regional processors who keep the supply chain close to our communities. And we demand transparency, not just about ingredients and labels, but about ownership, sourcing, and the decisions that shape what ends up on our plates. Why does this matter? Because when it comes to feeding our families, we deserve more than marketing slogans. We deserve truth. We deserve the right to make informed choices about the health of our loved ones and the future of our food. That starts with knowing where our pork comes from and who's really in control. And here's the hopeful part. We're not powerless. Every time we choose real food, we vote for integrity. Every time we support a local farmer or ask a question at the butcher counter, we shift the system. Every time we learn, share, and speak up, we build a food culture rooted in health, honesty, and resilience. Pork isn't just a product, it's a story. A story of nourishment, heritage, and hard work. A story that deserves to be told and protected. Thanks for joining us while I told this story. If you enjoyed learning about health food and our food supply, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Stay curious, stay grounded, and I'll see you in the next episode.